This is the fourth part of TIS-100, signal comparator. I'll start a new program as always. This program wants us to read in a value and then do three comparisons kind of, and then write to our outputs. So if it's greater than 0, we'll write 1 to out.g. If it's equal to 0, we'll write 1 to out.e. If it's less than 0, we'll write 1 to out.l. And if we write 1 to one of those, we'll have to write 0 to the rest of these. So I'll get my input, I'll move it down. I'll get my input, I'll move it down. I'll move it right. Then I will move it to the accumulator, and I'll say so now I have it in my accumulator, and I'll just reference my manual for a second. Any of these comparisons will actually compare with the ACK register, except jump just will jump unconditionally, and the rest of these are conditional with the ACK register. J or O is not. Yeah. So JLZ, JGZ, JNZ, and JEZ. And you can read about them. This is equal 0, not 0, greater than 0, less than 0. So jump less than 0 and that. So what I'll do is I'll say jump. I'll do the first condition here. Jump greater than 0. That means it's positive. And then we'll have a label. And then if it's not positive, it's not going to jump, so it'll go here. Therefore, I'll move. Before I do all of this, I'm actually going to move the accumulator right. I'll accept it, accumulator, and move accumulator right. This is so I can check the rest of these inputs and write them a 0 or a 1, a 0 or a 1 with the condition of in.a. So I get in.a to my accumulator for this box, then I'll move it, and now I have the in.a accumulator in this box, and I'll move it, then I have in.a accumulator for this box. And then I'll do the separate checks, and then I'll write 1 or 0 for the checks. So I'll do a check, jump greater than 0. It's positive. If it's not positive, it won't jump to this label. Therefore, this is either it's not positive. I guess it's greater than 0, because 0 is a positive number. So let's say greater 0. Or we can do GZ, which is probably, better. So GZ. So if it's not greater than 0, then we won't jump. Therefore, I'll go here, and that means I failed this condition, which means I'll have to write a 0 here. So I'll move 0, and I'll just reference the manual for a second. You can write, where is it? You can write move. Here you go. You can use a literal value to write something to something. So you can actually move 8 somewhere. So I can actually, here I can do move 0 down. So it's not greater than 0, we failed the condition. But if we didn't fail and then of course, if we don't put anything here, it'll just go to the next label, like just sequential execution. We don't want that. So what we want to do is we want to jump to the start or to the end. I'll just jump to the start. And I'll say, I guess I'll call the label G. And I'll say, sorry, I should not put colon here. I'll put a G here. There you go. So it'll write 0, and then it'll go back and it'll wait for the in.a. so the next number, so that's normal. And then if it is actually greater than 0, so it'll jump here, it'll not move 0, 1. That means I'll move 1 down. Okay, so we got the same kind of process going on here. So we have to check if it's equal to 0. So let's look at our instruction set, and we want to j equal to 0, so JEZ. We'll do JEZ easy, and then we'll say easy, move 1 down, else move 0 down, jump to, I'll call the label E. Right? And we actually don't have to move anything right, so we actually don't need to do that. And straight away I already see the pattern, so I'll call it L, so for out.L. And I'll say, so what's the condition? Less than 0, so there is an LZ instruction. So we'll say JLZ, and I'll call it LZ, and I'll say move 1 down, move 0 down, and I'll jump L. So if we step through it, so we have 2, it'll go down, it'll go down, it'll go right. Then we have it in the accumulator. We'll move 2 into this box now. We'll move 2 into this box as well, while simultaneously checking this condition. And because 2 is greater than 0, it'll write 1. And then it'll do this condition check, so it has to be equal to 0. So is 2 equal to 0? It's not, so it won't jump. Therefore, it'll write 0. It writes 0, and then it just jumps here. This already wrote something, I think. Yeah, it did, at the same time as this. So it actually a little bit sooner, because it doesn't have to do this instruction. And it checked if 2 is less than 0, and it didn't jump. So it executed this, and it did that. So if we fast forward through it, the tests should pass. And this is the 4th part of the video. Thanks for watching.